I'm Erik Stromswold, and this is my story. For the longest time, I've attended this church. I grew up going to Sunday school nearly every week. I was in the church back when it was still just the sanctuary hall back there. Seen a couple pastors come through here, and I've always been here not exactly for me, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. I feel like when I started coming here, I was just a little kid. Like all the little kids go through this. Your parents bring you, they drop you off at Sunday school, you see them in an hour, and you're done for the week. But the more I went, the more I was able to convince my parents to not take me to church and to let me sleep because I was tired or I had a big sports game the next day or something like that. So the more I grew up, the farther away I got from the church. So in elementary school, I was a bit of a jock. I was big on sports. I hung out with all the quote-unquote cool kids. And yeah, I was having a great time with life. I was popular. I had a lot of friends. Just had a great time. And then I ended up moving. I went to 5th grade at Grand Ridge. I was at Endeavor for my first 5 years. And then that was really tough because I knew I was going to be spending a year with friends that I would never talk to that much ever again, because I would be going to Beaver Lake next year when everyone else would be going to Pine Lake or Sequoia Middle School. So that was tough, and I found myself with a lack of friends. So that's transferred into middle school, where I found myself with maybe 5 friends in Beaver Lake. So I turned to the Jancolas, actually, Josh and Kyle, and we started coming here. They were some of my biggest friends. Greg Peterson was here, just all these cool guys, and I started coming to mid-high again. And I still didn't make that connection with God that I was looking for. Looking back now, I never felt like I was a good Christian at that time. I was just going there to be with friends. I remember on occasions sometimes I'd end up I'd go into the box, see none of my friends were there. I'd leave the box, go and sit in my car for an hour just because I didn't think I'd have any fun. And so I decided that I wanted to try to find God in more than just those 2 to 3 hours a week at church. So I started looking around, just pursuing Him in more things that I did, soccer, school, and it was tough. It was really hard. I didn't really find that it was going to help me in any way at the beginning, so it was a slow progression. I started off just trying to swear less is one of the biggest things in middle school, and I was always angry in middle school, always like hitting things, sometimes people, just didn't have a lot of friends still. So just cooling down some of that stuff and just seeing what would happen, and it helped a lot. But I still did not feel like I was connected to God in the way that I wanted to be. The way that God just came into my life was really slow, really actually unexpected, because now looking back at it, I can clearly pinpoint the parts that He just jumped in and helped me out. But as I was going, it just felt like nothing was changing. So last year or so, I had a problem with not having a lot of friends. That was when it really hit me. Through my whole life, I was really just a lone kid. I didn't do much, didn't hang out with a lot of people on the weekends. And for about a year and a half, that was just the main thing on my mind with God. I was asking Him literally every day what was happening and why I just couldn't find this group of people that liked me and wanted to be with me. These people at church liked me and they wanted to be with me, and I think it wasn't exactly them though, that it was God coming through them to see that, hey, these people have been here your entire life and you've been ignoring them, so really who's the one that's making it so you have lack of friends? So I kept coming, kept trying to get more and more involved, and the more I came, the happier I would get and the more friends I would have. But still, I was not with God entirely, I felt. I would think about Him and I would know He was there. I would be a believer. I knew Jesus came and saved me, but I didn't feel like me and God were like tight, like we were just close friends, and I could come to Him with anything, and He was always on my shoulder. It's just like I felt like He would come and like check on me, and then move on to the rest of the world. So I kept doing more, just to see what would happen. And the more and more I did, the more God showed up. So I joined student leadership. I have a group of awesome 7th grade guys. And now it's weird because I see the perspective from my leader's point of view when I was a 7th grader and when I was the crazy kids just running around having a good time. So after I finally found my connection with God that I was looking for, my life completely opened up to just the joy of living, honestly. Not that I was like suicidal, but just life became more fun. I was able to do more things, and I found this incredible joy of doing things with God's people, or doing God's things, or honestly just being alone and spending time with God. But yeah, I'm still not 100% there. There's still a few bricks in the wall between me and God. And so I think what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life is just to keep pursuing God. I think that's one thing that everyone can always rely on, and just always looking back to God would be my advice. I'm Erik Stromswold, and my joy and love for life come from Christ alone.